Prince Andrew, that is, now just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who has been stripped of his prince title and is being forced out of the Royal Lodge.
Imagine walking into your childhood home and nobody acknowledges you exist. The guards who once snapped to attention now look straight through you. Staff members call you Mr. instead of Your Royal Highness, and some of them are actually enjoying it. Your own daughters now outrank you, which means you'll have to bow to them in public. This isn't a nightmare. This is Andrew's reality right now. And that's not even the worst part. Subscribe to Royal Family Daily so you never miss the latest palace drama. Andrew recently visited Windsor Castle, the residence where his late mother, Queen Elizabeth, lived for decades. What should have been a routine family visit turned into a brutal wake-up call. The guards who had saluted him for years didn't even acknowledge his presence. The customary deep bows that once greeted him everywhere had completely vanished. Staff members now address him as Mr. Mountbatten Windsor, and according to insiders, some of them made a point of it. They relished using his new civilian name. Sources say he walked away from that visit absolutely furious and visibly stunned, realising just how far he's fallen in the eyes of everyone at the palace. One palace insider revealed that Andrew keeps saying he's hit rock bottom, only to discover there's another level below. But the real gut punch was still coming. Andrew discovered that his meal delivery service from Windsor Castle kitchens had been cancelled. For decades, food was prepared in the castle and delivered directly to Royal Lodge. It was his personal Royal Deliveroo, one of those perks that reminded him he was still connected to the institution. When staff informed him the service was being stopped, sources say he looked completely stunned, as if the rug had been pulled out from under him. One insider revealed that Andrew feels like his entire identity is being chipped away piece by piece. It might seem like a small thing to outsiders, but to Andrew, losing this privilege meant losing one of his last remaining connections to his old life. The meals weren't just food. They were a symbol that he still mattered. And the hits just keep coming. Andrew must vacate Royal Lodge by Christmas. This isn't just any property. It's a sprawling 30-room mansion worth $40 million on 98 acres of Windsor estate land. He's lived there since 2004 with his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson, paying only £1 million up front and essentially no rent for the past 20 years. Now King Charles is forcing him out, determined to distance the monarchy from the Epstein scandal that destroyed Andrew's reputation. Andrew's being moved to a much smaller property on the Sandringham estate, a massive downgrade that's impossible to ignore. Hit that like button if you think Charles is doing the right thing here. But losing the mansion wasn't the final blow. On October 30th, 2025, King Charles officially stripped Andrew of all his titles. He's no longer Prince Andrew or the Duke of York. He's now just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, a commoner in the eyes of royal protocol. He lost his HRH style completely. One royal expert described the situation bluntly, saying Andrew is now categorised the same way as war criminals who've been stripped of their honours. This came after revelations in Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir brought the Epstein connections back into the spotlight. Everything Andrew spent his life building, gone in an instant. The Epstein scandal has haunted Andrew for years, reaching its peak with that disastrous BBC Newsnight interview in November 2019. Trying to clear his name, Andrew gave answers that became instant memes. He claimed he couldn't sweat due to a rare medical condition from the Falklands War. He insisted he was at Pizza Express in Woking that night. When shown the photograph with Virginia Giuffre, he suggested it might be fake. The interview was universally panned as a disaster. Within days, Andrew was forced to step down from royal duties. He eventually settled Giuffre's lawsuit in 2022 for an undisclosed sum without admitting guilt. And then came the ultimate indignity. Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie still have their royal titles. They're still addressed as Your Royal Highness at official events. Royal protocol is very clear. People of lower rank must bow to those of higher rank, which means Andrew will now have to bow to his own daughters in public. Royal expert Robert Hardman confirmed this, saying, yes, Andrew probably will have to bow to them. But Hardman added something telling. Andrew won't do it with any happiness or willingness. Imagine that moment at a family wedding or official event. Your own children outrank you. The awkwardness, the humiliation, it's almost unbearable to think about. Comment below. Would you bow to your own kids? But Andrew isn't going down without a fight. Reports emerged that he's been making demands during negotiations about his exit. He demanded properties like Frogmore Cottage and Adelaide Cottage. He wanted compensation for the millions he spent renovating Royal Lodge over the years. He even insisted on keeping royal staff despite losing all his titles and privileges. Sources say he's being realistic about his situation, but he's still making these demands anyway. He's also facing forced separation from Sarah Ferguson after decades of living together at Royal Lodge. Insiders say Andrew hasn't stopped complaining about how unjust it all feels to him. Meanwhile, his daughters want nothing to do with this mess. Beatrice and Eugenie have stayed completely silent throughout the entire ordeal. Reports surfaced that Prince William allegedly pressured them to convince their father to leave Royal Lodge. There were even whispers that William warned their own titles could be reconsidered if Andrew refused to cooperate. King Charles has reportedly expressed concern that the sins of the family shouldn't befall the daughters. They're now essentially private citizens who occasionally attend royal events, and they're clearly choosing to protect the monarchy over protecting their father. The message is clear. They're distancing themselves as much as possible. Recently released emails between Andrew and Epstein made everything worse. After the photograph with Giuffre was published in 2011, Andrew allegedly emailed Epstein saying, "We are in this together." This was months after Andrew publicly claimed he'd cut all ties. Another email shows Andrew pleading, "I can't take any more of this," when journalists came asking questions. These revelations completely contradicted Andrew's narrative and showed he was still communicating with a convicted offender long after he said their friendship ended. So, where does this leave Andrew? Sources close to him say he knows there's no path back. He's not delusional about that. What he's worried about now is how much further things will slide before he's forced to face reality. The cumulative humiliations are pushing him around the bend, from prince to commoner, from salutes to being ignored, from Royal Lodge to a cottage, from father figure to someone who bows to his own children. The downfall is now unstoppable, and the entire world is watching it happen in real time. Subscribe to Royal Family Daily for daily updates on the royals' biggest scandals and secrets. New videos every day. Don't miss what happens next in this saga